Welcome to Your Time to Thrive with personal fitness coach Jason Stevenson.
Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Your Time to Thrive podcast. I'm Jason. I'm your leader and host today. I'm joined by my fantastic friend and ever present and not often mentioned producer in the background. Whenever I have guests on, I feel bad, Ben. I have to say that, man. I owe you an apology.
For what?
I'm sorry.
For what?
Well, when I have guests on, we just talk briefly at the beginning of the podcast, you and I, and then we get the guests on, and then it's like we forget about Ben the whole time. We just get talking, and I never give you the credit you deserve.
I mean, I'm okay with that. More people can forget about me.
Not.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not that I forget about you. And you see, because you make sure that the comments get put up on the screen. You make sure that the theme of the day gets put up on the screen. You're making sure that everything runs the way that it's supposed to. It gets updated and posted to multiple platforms. See, just like that. And it doesn't all happen by accident. It happens with your effort.
Well, so that may be true, but when I'm not co-hosting, I'm able to do like 75 other things during the time. So it's fine either way. You don't need to. Yeah, it's good. So connecting the dots. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. I'm not going to shut down all of your kindness. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
I want to give credit where credit is due, you know, and appreciate the efforts, because that's actually part of the theme of today is connecting those dots. You know, we go through our lives pretty quickly most of the time. You know, we go through. And, you know, whatever your day consists of, whatever the schedule is, it happens. And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like this, but sometimes I feel like I blink and the day went by. You know, like just boom. And starting the day looks like a long day, or it looks like it's going to be a lot involved. And then before you know it, it's over, and you're sitting down at the end of the night eating dinner, or you're getting into bed and you realize, wow, that just happened. And I find that as part of the continuing conversation from this, we talked about this before, is connecting the dots, which is getting all the pieces put in place for your fitness to feel well-rounded and like you have whole wellness and success. I feel like pieces of that are missing in our awareness. And that's because we don't either pay attention, or we don't stop in the moments, or because we're not taking the time to recognize those pieces that are really valuable and important. And for me to put this podcast on, you are an important part of that. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. I wouldn't have started it without you. And it certainly wouldn't get put up on the multiple platforms that it does, and be reaching out to all the people that it does without you. So it deserves recognition.
Well, thank you. I would tip my hat, but I don't have one on today.
Yeah, I like the haircut, man. Keeping the hair going good.
It's not a haircut at all. It's just I had to do something with the governor this morning. So you
didn't get spruced up for us?
No,
you didn't get
not at all.
Spruced up for your time to thrive, Benjamin?
Not at all. I did keep the hoodie on though. So it's, you know, let's not go crazy here.
Benefits of running your own business. You get to wear whatever you want to.
That's true. That's true. So, all right. So let's talk about connecting the dots a little bit. What does that entail for you?
Well, for me, it means looking outside the box of the fitness world. You know, as a personal trainer and as a coach, people come to me for fitness and for nutrition and some life coaching aspects within that. Usually those are secondary to their inception and to their like conception of how that's going to look. Because usually people come to a trainer because they're going to work out, you know, and then we get into it and we realize that there's going to be a lot more than just the fitness side of it. But unfortunately, that's not the only pieces to your health and wellness. It's not the only pieces to your success. One of the questions I always ask when I first meet with somebody is, what is the home life like? Like, who is home? We're married, we're dating, we're alone. Like, their kids involved? Are their grandparents at the house? Like, what is the environment at home? Is it supportive and conducive to your goals and your future successes? Is what you spend a lot of your time around going to help you or hurt you? Has it been helping you or hurting you? What other pieces are part of that puzzle that you need to focus on? Because it's not just, do I go to the gym? It's not just, do I eat right or do I eat well? It's, how well am I sleeping? How much sleep and the quality of my sleep am I getting? It has a lot to do with your stress management, the amount of stress that you deal with on a daily basis and how you deal with that. And the last big piece is hydration. And where you get your hydration from, the quality of that hydration, the consistency of that hydration. So those are the 5 key pieces that I would say, right? See, that counts. That counts. That mine's got less bubbles in it.
I was just looking around for a water bottle and I couldn't find one, so I found my prop champagne.
Ben, where's your water bottle?
I don't know.
You are on the Time to Thrive podcast.
There's one here. There's one here, and I don't know when I opened it.
I'll bet it's still water.
I'm just gonna drink it. I don't like that. Might be a couple days old. I'm not sure. Whatever.
It's still water.
I mean,
counts. As long as it's not sitting in your car with temperature fluctuations.
All right. I will take your word for that. So, yeah, that's that makes a lot of sense. And I personally have been trying to do that a lot recently. My goal, so I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I want to do and want to accomplish, and in order to do that stuff, I need to actually like work hard on connecting the dots and putting things together, and use my time effectively, do the things that that I need to do for myself, for my own physical health, my mental health, adding structure to things, so this sort of encompasses everything in that sense, and that's been really important.
Yeah, it's huge, but it's a lot harder to do than it is to just conceptualize, right? Like, it's easy to say
100%.
structure.
100%. One, I got a new app on my phone, and you can also access it on the computer. It's a to-do list that is very thorough, and I've been really loving that.
You like lists.
I do. I really like lists. I like lists way better than I like calendars.
Yes. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
never talked about a calendar being a success point for you.
No, I hate calendars. I like lists. I like being able to, you can just put the time in a list. Like, when you're making a list, you can just say 11 a.m. your time to thrive, So that's something that I have learned about myself, is that I really do well with lists. So yeah, so that's been something that I've been trying to do very recently.
So when you do your list, are you like, I like to cross off things on my list to feel
Yeah.
accomplished?
Yeah, so let's see. This list right now is, I'll just screen share it for a second. There's nothing like inappropriate on it, I don't think.
I don't know if we have censorship on here anyway, sir.
I mean like confidential or something.
There we go.
But
private.
All right, so this is my list, right, for today. And so once you, like, your time to thrive, right?
Yep.
Click it and then just drag it down, and everything, once you drag down everything that you've clicked off. So like I haven't done, so like brush teeth, done, and then when you move it down, all of them move down to the bottom.
Now let's hold on that thought. I love that, because a lot of people think that they just have to put on pay the mortgage on their list,
Right.
right? Like how simple is it to say, I'm going to get out of bed on
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I'm going to brush my teeth. You know, you want to talk about success points because that's what we're talking about here really is connecting the dots. That means you've taken things that have successfully aligned with your goals and put them together in succession so that you get where you want to, right?
It also builds up speed, right? So I mean, it builds up
Yes.
momentum. So basically, like when the reason that I put like brush teeth and meditate and stuff on my to-do list is because yeah, I'm gonna do them first thing in the morning, but it's also gonna build the momentum that I'm checking it off, and I'm like, okay, cool, you're doing stuff today, like you're in that mode. You're doing stuff, you're going, you've already gotten a couple victories under your belt, you've already crossed some things off the to-do list, and then the bigger, harder things, the work that you might not want to do gets easier.
Yeah. I love that focus. I love that focus because it's the small things that add up, right? You know, you feel successful. You feel that momentum. Like I got this done. Got this done. That feels good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Big pieces. So you write down all of the pieces, like all of the things that
I
you really
tried
want to
to.
know. Yeah.
Yep.
And do you carry over? Like I meant to journal today. I didn't get to journaling. I'm going to do that tomorrow kind of
Yep.
thing.
So let me show you. Say that there's something on here. I have to do this. I'm gonna move it over here because I can't do that today.
Yeah.
You know,
I love it.
it's that simple.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's pieces for your puzzle, right? So that's been working successfully for you.
yep.
If you're listening out there and you're watching right now, think about the pieces that have worked in your past or that have not worked in your past. Because if you're like Ben and the lists work, then definitely write lists. If you hate lists and they give you anxiety because you look at it and you think, oh my God, I can't get all that done, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to, then don't write lists. You have to pay attention to the pieces that actually work. I always say to people that I'm training that I'm never going to square hole round peg you because for me, it defeats the purpose to take you and try and force you into a scenario or force you into a habit that's not going to feel good or that's not going to work long term for you. It's why
Absolutely.
diets don't work for most people because if you take somebody and you say, okay, you're going to cut out all the carbs, you're going to cut out all the pastas and all the breads and all the starches, and they're normally a high energy needed person. Like if they're a high energy output person like me, like I spend most of my day on my feet. If I were to cut out a lot of carbs from my nutrition plan, I'd be dead in the water. You know, by lunchtime, I'd be falling asleep. My clients in the evenings and my classes at night would be like, Jay, what the hell? So you have to figure out what works for you. There is no cookie cutter plan out there. All of the good nutrition plans, all of the good training departments, and all the good training teams are going to have a malleable program, a malleable system that you can adjust to. Because it's
Yeah.
not just, do I check the box? I went to a workout today. I checked the box. I ate some fruit. It's how much of this in its entirety can we put together?
Yeah.
So I learned something new today. Well, not today, recently, about stress management. In doing a little bit of research for this topic today. Did you know that you can eat foods that are going to reduce your stress?
No. What are they?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. What foods?
Specifically, there are a couple different ones. What you want to think about is the chemical reaction in your systems, like what your body takes in has a chemical reaction in your body because it's going to digest, it's going to deal with it. There's going to be hormones released, and specifically serotonin, which is like the feel good one, right? We want to feel good. We want to be less stressed. So complex carbohydrates are one of the first ones, which is ironic given how many nutrition plans out there tell you to cut carbs. Carbs are one of our stress reducing food sources because in order for your body to digest it, we have to start releasing hormones, and your brain actually releases serotonin to deal with the sugar in your system to help you feel good because it likes sugar actually. And when we digest it, even if it's a simple carb, so we don't want to get as much feel good and stress reduction from sugary things like fruits and candies and things like that, because it's short lived. It burns pretty quickly. But
Right.
it's no surprise that a lot of people that go on a hardcore nutrition plan have depression issues and anxiety issues and mood issues
Yeah,
because their system actually requires that. Isn't that crazy? Makes sense, right?
it does.
You
It
can
makes a lot of
also
sense.
eat oranges and yeah, because that's the way that our body works, right? You can
For
also eat a
sure.
lot of fruits that have lots of vitamin C in it for the same reason. Your body really likes vitamin C. And nuts and tree nuts. So all your legumes and things that are actually going to be higher in carbohydrates, right? And
Yeah.
higher in proteins, but raw, right? Like we want to try and avoid as much cooking as we can to some products. Raw nuts are really, really good for you and helpful, beneficial wise as far as reducing your stress. I thought that was cool. We always look for, the simple fix. Here's this pill. I could take this pill. I can take this drink. People go to drugs and to alcohol, and for whatever reasons, they find alternative sources to reduce our stress when the real answers are really simple. Take a nice walk, get outside, get some sunshine, and eat some pasta.
Yeah.
I actually recently started baking some bread. I grabbed a starter from my mom when I was up in Maine with her over Christmas and started baking bread at home. Not that we eat a lot of bread normally, but I got to be honest, when you make bread with your hands and you have control over what you're putting in it, because I'm doing bread flour, whole wheat flour, rye flour, some flax seeds, some sesame seeds, not sesame, sunflower seeds, um, and walnuts mixed in. It is so good. And I am not stressed when I eat a piece of bread. Like I don't feel bad about it
Yeah.
because it's
That's
real food
right.
and I made it. It takes time to make bread. Like you can go to the supermarket and buy a pie right now, but for you to like bake a pie, that's always one of my suggestions with people is to get their hands in their food. There's something cathartic about having control over your food
Yes.
as far as reducing stress and as long as you don't go to that, like start stressing about cooking or start stressing about the choices or the techniques, go to your wheelhouse, find stuff that you really like, find things that are easy to make, find things that make you feel good when you eat them and make them. Yeah, Meg, I saw your pictures. Meg says that she loves baking and cooking. She made croissants over the weekend. I can't wait to hear how that went. It looked awesome. That's a great piece of the COVID experience that I think a lot of people have learned to appreciate. That so many people were baking bread over the break and everybody's stuck at home, just figured out, now I'll bake bread. But when you can get involved in the process, when you can get closer to your sources, when you can find the source of your food products, you're going to get closer to the heart of the solutions. Because
Yeah.
it's not that bread's bad for you. It's just the crap that we've been fed that they call bread is bad for you.
Yep.
Whole grains are good for you. You need those whole grains. Not a bad thing. How about sleep? That's the big one for me. I never feel like I get enough or get well enough.
Yeah.
How have you been sleeping?
Pretty good recently for the most part. No complaints. Which is good, which is a big improvement from a couple months ago. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you going to bed earlier? We had talked for a while ago about aiming.
When I can. When I can. Trying to make
Yeah.
a conscious effort to, yeah. So not bad.
That's been a big step for
Yeah.
me, honestly, is like kind of hammering down at bedtime. Like this is my window.
What's your bedtime right now?
9:15.
What's your bedtime, bro?
9:15 is my window. I want to be in bed by 9:15.
Oh wow. That's early.
Yeah.
Well, you get
It's
up at like 4, right?
5 usually.
All right.
But yeah. Well, that's why. Because when I was setting my alarm and I was looking at it and it would say like 6.5 hours, I think, shit, that's not a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
And if I don't get deep sleep, or if like I wake up at least once to pee, like I'm drinking so much water, by the end of the day, I got a 2-3 hour window. I'm going to wake up and pee again. Then I'm only getting 2 hours of sleep consistently, right? Like 2 hours, wake up, 2 hours, wake up. That's not good sleep.
Yeah.
You need more rest than that.
You really do.
That's the big challenge for most people, is to get enough beneficial sleep.
Right. Well, I think we should do a whole show called "What's Your Bedtime."
I love it.
I'm 100% serious. I think we should do an entire show called "What's Your Bedtime,"
I love it.
or like adult bedtime or something. Yeah.
Well, I'm lucky. It's just Kirst and I, and nowadays, because that was part of the challenge when we first started dating. She stayed up. She's a night owl, and she doesn't have to get to work as early as I do.
Right.
And it was killing me to stay up with her. And then we tried her coming to bed with me, and that was driving her crazy because she wasn't falling asleep. So she'd lay in bed for like 2-3 hours, play on her phone or read or something. But it was driving her nuts to be laying in bed next to me snoring. So you got to find the balance. Now I go to bed, she kisses me goodnight and goes and does something, watches TV or reads, or she's been working on a puzzle recently. But the balance for us, the balance for us was to figure out what works best for both of us. I told her, I need my sleep. I need to get to bed earlier. And you don't want to feel forced into my life schedule, because that makes sense. So you got to find that balance.
Becky says not a good idea. I think she's talking about adult bedtime. Megan says, and how you fall asleep and what is your craziest dream? Yes, we'll talk all about all of that.
I love it.
Next week, adult bedtime with Jason. All right. Well, I'm so sorry. I have to go in a sec.
That's okay.
Because I have what is life? Thank you, Jason. Yes.
It's normal.
So let's last thoughts on connecting the dots.
Keep it simple. Small steps. It's not trying to hit everything in one fell swoop. It's trying to hit a little bit of everything in one fell year, right? Do the best you can every day and know that tomorrow's another day. It's all right. Just do the best you can. Guys, thank you so much for listening. It's always been a pleasure of mine to help people. I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, reach out. It's thrivetrainingteam.com is the way to find me if you have any questions. Otherwise, come down to Precision Fitness in Westerly. We'll have a good time together. Have a great and healthy day, friends. We'll see you soon.
For more information, tips, and workouts of the day, check out thrivetrainingteam.com.